Hey, my friends, it's what not? I was going to say it's Monday. It seemed like a Monday. It's Friday, which means it's another day to build wins live together. Today is the first for Building Wins Live. We are actually doing, well, as you know, we do live because it's called Building Wins Live, but we doing a remote from site, on site, big stuff. We are here with First Choice Exteriors, Classic Metals, in beautiful Holmesville, Ohio, which is in the heart of Holmes County, which is the heart of Amish country, USA. And I had the pleasure of being here with my two friends, which I'll introduce when we come back, Kevin and John. We're here at their contractor show today, which we had a great turnout, great food. And we're going to talk metal. We're going to talk about where we've been, where we are now, and where we're going. So we're going to be right back in about 7 seconds. So do not go away. Okay. Hey, there we are. We're back. My friend.
Hey, yes, sir.
And my friend.
Yes.
I got a left hand. We got to do righties and lefties here. So we've got John Yoder, the owner of and president and CEO and big dude here at First Choice Classic Metals, and Kevin Yoder, the general manager. And as I mentioned before we came on, we were here for their contractor day. So guys, thank you for having me. Number one, for the contractor day.
Also, absolutely.
Good turnout, right?
Yes.
I thought it was a very good turnout.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, of course. You guys do some great stuff and we appreciate it. So I thought it was kind of fun since I wasn't going to be able to get to a hotel or anywhere else to do this live show, which I would do if I was on the road. We would try a remote, and so far it goes well. And we've got Wes Wyatt, the man, behind us here, taking care of things. So boom, there's Barry Broxman. Look at that, getting it done. And there's Kirsten. My first two of the day. You guys win prizes. It's basically nothing, but you win anyway. Is this Tom and Jerry? Somebody used to say on one of the serious channels, they used to talk about pride, not prize. So that's what you get, pride for being first and second. So there you are. Anyway, so we had a great contractor day today. So what I want to talk to the boys here about today was First Choice Exteriors, Classic Metals, and how you guys got started, and we'll just kind of go from there, a little conversation. So John, how did this whole thing start here? How long you been here? How did it start? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, First Choice Exteriors was actually originally under a different name, JVN Sales, back in 97 when it started, okay. October of 97. And we were primarily at an custom aluminum manufacturer distributor center. And when times came back in the early 2000s, the need for diversification, we started into metal. And everything has grown just since then. It just keeps growing every year. New products, more products of it, and or more types of it, you should say. Mm-hmm. And like this summer, we're bringing on 2 different profiles yet in our 29 gauge. So it just keeps growing.
Yeah. So you were. I always remember you here at this site here on we're technically south of the town of Holmesville, right?
Yeah.
Were we south? Yeah. Okay. I thought we were. I came up from Millersburg, so I forgot. But so you started out in the aluminum and then moved into metal as that became hot. When did you start roll forming metal, Kevin? When was the first year you did that?
I believe that was in 2007.
Okay.
Started with standing seam only.
Mm-hmm.
So got a machine, started on site rolling it for customers, and then. Do you know what year we started with the actual exposed fastener?
It was only about 2 years later.
Okay, about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys used to be out, this would be north of town, right? In another building.
So with the standing seam, we didn't need a separate building necessarily, but then we had a building north of town, had that for a year or two, moved into another building in that facility, and then ended up building right here where we're at. So. It's nice to get everything in one spot now.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I remember the first time I went to your the first spot that you rolled metal. I couldn't find you. It was kind of
Yeah.
back in, right?
Right, it was back behind a bunch of other.
I was back in there rooting around, about ready to go home, but I decided that I'd give it one last try.
Yeah, no heat, no air conditioning.
Right. Now you've got a very nice modern facility here, and it's first class. So let's walk us through. Obviously, metal is my interest. That's the world I kind of live in, but really, you're into a lot of other things besides metal. Obviously, the aluminum products, vinyl sidings, other types of sidings. So go ahead and give us a little, maybe a little more in depth of what you guys do besides just the metal. Then we'll talk metal for a minute.
So starting out with in the aluminum, it was the demand that actually got us into the aluminum manufacturing, all the trim work, sockets, fascias, custom aluminum covers, window trims, all that stuff. So whatever goes along with that, we got into vinyl siding, shutters, stock shutters, and inventoried everything. So basically, at that point, everything that was on the outside of your house is what we either stocked or provided. Windows, doors. It was just a home exterior distribution. That was before we got into the roofing line. So that just fit in with the whole spectrum of things, and was a great fit.
Right. So Kevin, so you made the first step into the on-site standing seam business. That wet your whistle, as they say, I guess, right? For rolling metal. And you realized, I assume, I'm putting words in your mouth, but I assume that there was also a big demand, as big or bigger, for a ribbed fasten through panel too, right?
Right.
So did you buy panel for a while before you started rolling? I forget. Or did you start rolling immediately?
That was a little bit before I was personally involved, but yeah, I believe they were started buying a finished product, just to, test the market a little bit. And at that time, there wasn't very many roll formers right in our area. So everybody was buying stuff from a little lumber, a lumber yard or whatever. But yeah, then got the idea and took the plunge of getting a machine, getting a folder and starting to do it ourselves. And yeah, just went from there. So nice. Yeah, obviously we're manufacturing more exposed fastener now than the standing seam, but it's still, standing seam is still a big part.
So then at some point, John, I remember when it happened, I forget how many years ago it's been, but you had an opportunity to get into the stamp metal shingle world too. So how did that Weaver
Metals?
Yeah. So tell us of how that went.
So we there was a need for a metal shingle, and an opportunity, I guess, both. And so we were into distribution only of a specific brand of that. And then that market seemed to close off for us. And there was another local man who had a manufacturing roll former that he had, and he was kind of up against, and we had asked him if he would manufacture for us, that we could be a distributor, and he just wanted to sell everything to us. So that's why we acquired the equipment and began forming it on our own and distributing.
And that's a nice panel that I can tell you the involvement that I've had as someone in the past with that panel is probably as easy a panel as there is out there to install.
Right.
That, forget the fact that it looks nice and all the other pluses. It's just so quick and fast and easy. And I know that's an area in metal shingles, right, that not everybody's as easy. Metal shingles you get some installers that back away from them a little bit, right, because it's a little challenging. Especially nowadays with the labor issues that we have. They don't necessarily have a lot of technicians on their staff, right? And so getting a panel that installs easily is pretty important. So things are rocking and rolling. Now let's go here with this, because I think we can learn some stuff from it. It's a subject I'm getting about had enough talking about, but as I'm sure we all have. But 2 years ago, we ran into almost an overnight situation with the COVID thing, right?
Yeah.
Were you prepared for that at all? I mean, it was nobody was. I kind of know the answer to that, but nobody's sitting there going, "I bet we're going to have some kind of a worldwide pandemic."
Yeah, we had our apprehensions because of things we heard, but we didn't know what it meant.
Mhm.
Does it mean shut down? Does it mean no material? Does it mean no employees? We just didn't know.
Right. So what did you guys do, Kevin, to get through that? Because you got through it well.
Yeah.
Business was good.
Yeah.
And I know business was good because you guys blessed me with buying a lot of product from me.
Right.
And so things just kind of kept right on going, right? Because the lucky thing is our industry was deemed essential, right?
Right.
Which,
Right.
for the record, I hate that word because I think mom and pop working at the local shop in town is kind of essential to their own life, right?
Absolutely.
That's a word I've never liked.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, we once we figured it out, we didn't really miss much of a beat, did we? We just adjusted.
Yeah, business, work was there. It didn't go away. So yeah, we made some adjustments here with employees and so forth. Took extra precautions, tried to do what we can, and we there was times when guys were sick, they had to take off. Everyone else had to just chip in and pick up the slack. But yeah, overall it was just fine. We made it through, and yeah, business didn't seem to be suffering at all.
Right
through that time.
So John, you guys have pretty much grown, I would assume, obviously through the whole COVID scenario and before, and looking for a good 2022, I assume.
Yeah, by all appearance.
Yeah.
I'm excited about 2022, and some of the things that I've got on my mind is going to be a little bit out of the box, but I'm excited about it.
I like out of the box. I like no boxes at all. As a matter of fact, I think I tend to think so far out of the box sometimes that I don't even think there's cardboard to make a box.
Right.
Let's just go do it. And I know you met Wes pre-show, and he did a post one day of a Building Wins Live box because he loves the idea of thinking out of the box. Right. So anything you want to share or know as far as what you got coming? I know you mentioned a couple new panels. I don't know how far into that you want to go at all, or just that you've got some things coming.
Well, what I see is in the area we are, I think it seems that our community has kind of come up against with their imagination, and they're just satisfied with staying with the same old, and I really want to introduce them to some more product and more different looking products, style products, and even appearance wise in the possibly some pre-rusted or and all that type of stuff to develop some opportunity for more imagination. Right.
Well, that's a funny thing because, and we were talking about it earlier. I think you and I were talking about, Kevin, I don't know if we were or not, but where we went with metal, right? I mean, it was just standing seam in a plain old ag panel, and now we've got the kind of the standing seam looking concealed or fastened through panel, right? We went to a crinkle finish, or I don't know what you guys call it. Do you call it crinkle? Grip-Tex. Yep. Which is more of a non-sheen, kind of a textured look. And all this is pretty heavily geared to residential, right? More than it is ag, because ag still pretty much gets the ag panel, right?
Right.
Typically.
Right. Yeah.
So you've got a market out here that's pretty interesting because for anybody that doesn't know Holmes County, and I think I'd be remiss not to bring up Holmes County a little bit because you guys are born and raised here, right? I assume you were.
Most of my life, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. John, you were pretty much
I was in Indiana.
Oh, you were in Indiana? Really? Whereabouts?
Northern Indiana, where Ranco and all those.
Oh, you're up near Martin. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how long you been in the Millersburg area?
Right around 30 years.
Okay. Well, then you're a lifer.
That's pretty much.
I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you've been here almost your whole life.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Other than when you might have left on your own for a while.
Right.
You did. But Holmes County, and I'll never do it justice. So tell everybody in a encapsulated version, the uniqueness and the beauty and the awesomeness of Holmes County, Ohio. Right? It's just there's no place on earth like this.
No, that's right. There's no place like
this. Yes,
yeah.
it's very. Let me paint the picture and correct me if I'm wrong. Rolling hills, winding roads, picture us with dotted little Amish farms up and down the little hills. And oh, look at this. Wes has got it up. It's like one of the most beautiful back home, back in time, little towns of Charm and Millersburg and Berlin. And see, I say it right.
Little Swiss.
Little twist.
Or little Swiss.
Little Swiss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
what do they call that?
Sugar Creek.
The little Swiss of America.
Yes. It's in the cottage community. I call it the cottage community, but you go up and down the side roads and you can't go more than a mile and there's another little farm they may be farming, they may work off the farm, but they all got something, right? A little basket making business, right? Or a harness shop or woodworking or something, right?
It's loaded with entrepreneurs.
It is. So I'm going to guess the unemployment. And I don't know this. I'm taking a wild swing at this one, but I'm going to guess the unemployment rate's pretty low here.
It is.
Would that be accurate?
It's pretty hard to, if you have a job opening, it's not easy just to go out and find a bunch of people that are looking for work.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that must be doubly hard here because that's kind of, so let me back up. Nationally, trying not to go negative, but nationally, it's hard to get people sometimes because for whatever reasons, programs, etc. Forget getting political with it either way. There's just reasons people don't want to work or don't work. You can't get employees. Your situation here is not that, because the work ethic here in Holmes County and the surrounding county is as high as anywhere I've ever seen. It's here that's literally because they already have jobs.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that they don't want to work; they're already working. And have good jobs. So have you been pretty lucky with keeping long-term employees though?
Yeah, we have. We've been very blessed. We've got a good team that we all chip in, work together, and I've been very blessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So John, we're gonna introduce some new panels this year, some new products. When should people be looking for those? Mid-year?
If everything holds out, I'm hoping by end of July, maybe 1st of August.
Okay.
To be able to start.
That's perfect. Well, I looked at a couple that you showed today. Showed, is that a correct word? Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm a hillbilly from mid-Michigan originally, so I washed my clothes with an R, so it is what it is. And I will argue all day with you that there is an R. It's WA and then parentheses R. SH. You wash your clothes, you go to the car wash in Washington, D.C., and George Washington was the start of our country. So there, take that one to the bank. But anyway, some new product will be available July, August-ish, just in time for the busy season of the fall. What else is looking down the road for First Choice and Classic? Anything else besides that's probably enough for 1 year.
Well, I think so.
Kevin needs something to do. I watched him earlier today. He was kind of lazing around eating candy bars quite a bit. So I was a little disappointed in that. So, well, that's awesome. So, how far from Holmes County do you get? Do you travel quite a ways out of the general area? Because there's so much business within the surrounding county, right? But
yes, it is, and it's very interesting that even the labor force that is within the county that leaves every morning getting on the road, a lot of them are driving minimum of an hour to get to the job site. So they'll be driving anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to get to the job site. A lot of the material and product that's fabricated in our area, when it comes especially woodworking, very little of it stays within the state.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when it comes to us, where we ship it, well, we follow our customers, which is a contractor for the most part, wherever they go. So if they're going to Pennsylvania, that's where we follow.
Okay.
We don't go much into Pennsylvania. We touch it once in a while, or West Virginia.
Wow.
I guess next week we're going to be going in Indiana.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a first one, basically. It's very subtle.
Well, that says a lot about you guys because so your customer that's based here gets a job in Indiana. They actually have you deliver the product and follow them to Indiana, so to speak. With
Most of the time,
most of the time, which I feel like being around this industry for 4+ decades. Quit smiling. It's a long time. I know I'm old. That's a little abnormal, right? Because I mean, a lot of times guys would go, okay, there's a local roll former over here someplace, right? I'll just buy this job, or they're going to deliver it 20 miles, not 150, 200 miles, right? So I think that speaks a lot for the loyalty that they have to you guys and the confidence level, right?
I believe it does, and then also we have special programs with our customers, so that helps them consider some things before they just jump back and forth and try to get their supplies. So it works for both of us.
Well, sure. So I would say your contractor base is I gotta say people wander, right? They can't. But generally speaking, I know I recognize several guys today here at your open house that I've seen before here. So and that's not always the case.
No.
I've done some of these in some states where it's almost like every year or two you see a whole new group of people, right? They bounce a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, so much is in business is, well, we're here to service our customers, so it comes down to a relationship, right? So we need to, that relationship is something that we all need to focus on,
right?
And so it comes down to it that they're buying from us because of the relationship, and we're buying from our vendors because of the relationship. Right. Sure, there's times when price or product plays a role into that, absolutely. Right. But if I have a choice, I'm going to buy from a vendor that I know of and that I have a relationship with. Right.
Right. So, well, it's kind of like we've always hear of and talk about, I call it the triad or the triangle, but I like triad because I just like the word. But of quality, price, quality, service, and price. And I always like to say it that way because most people like to say price, quality, service. And I don't buy that. I mean, that may be the excuse people use, but I still think it always comes down to quality, service, and price. Do we have the quality? Do you have the service? And is the price fair?
Right.
But I've started thinking about it in the last several years. I think more about it is I've elongated that from a triangle and added a leg, and it's more of a box. It's quality, service, price, and relationship, right? And I think they're all equally important.
Yeah. Well, I think so.
And I think what you just hit on, Kevin, is sometimes the relationship may even elevate itself to number one if you're going to look at the box, right?
Right.
The other stuff all has to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. You guys bless me with a lot of business, and I appreciate it. And we've got a great relationship for a number of years. But you wouldn't still be doing business with me if my product was just junk. Right. You like me, but it's still junk. Right. I mean, it's got to be okay.
Right.
Exactly. And, or if the service levels just went away.
Right.
It's like, okay, dude, but I like you, but I mean, I can't get it. Right. Or if we're 4 times as much money all of a sudden. So I understand those come into play, but it's interesting to hear you say that because I think more and more people, and I feel like over the last couple of years, and I don't know that it has anything to do with what we've went through or not, but the relationship part of it is more important than ever, I think. It just seems like it is, absolutely. Right? Am I missing right, or am I right?
I have to think back of, last year with steel was, I mean, there was a shortage across the board. Everyone had a hard time getting it. But it came down to relationship. It came down to being able to call, and I know my vendors, because of the relationship we had established with them over years.
Right.
There may be times when someone new was calling, they were getting calls every day, but someone new was calling, they're going to say no, they can't sell to him because they have a relationship.
Right. And
we did the same thing with our customers. So, and then when there's a problem, so we don't all like problems, or we don't want problems, but they will happen. Well, if I call you with a problem, it's going to come down to relationship that we have on your response to that.
Right.
If you don't have any relationship with me, it's going to be like, well, it's not really our problem,
exactly,
or whatever. So yeah, it does play a big role.
It does. And John, I know Kevin just hit on what you guys did, and all of us did that. We did the same thing with my manufacturers. Is we had a point in time where we just you had opportunities because you had people that you never dealt with. they're calling it, but the only reason they're calling it is because they couldn't get it from who they were
Right.
they were buying from.
That's right.
And we knew one that was short term probably, but more importantly, if I take fasteners for example, and give them to Billy Bob, roll former that calls has never wanted to be involved with us ever,
Mhm.
right? And that's his business. Then I don't have them sitting there for you when you need them, right? And so it was important to us in all my manufacturers that I work with that we just said, look, during this time, we're going to take care and keep product for our existing customers and take care of them, because all that you do when you don't do that right is you pick up 3 new guys and then you lose John and Kevin because we didn't take care of you, right?
That's right.
And that is like dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know, think of a really smart word, but that's just dumb business, right? So how does because I'm always interesting on we talked a little bit about this earlier too, Kevin, but marketing. How's marketing work for First Choice Exteriors, Classic Metals, Weaver Metals? Do you guys is most of the businesses word of mouth right now still because you're so well known in the area? Do you guys do more marketing than you used to? Are you trying to do more marketing, trying to maybe reach out to the next level or two, or what's that look like for you guys?
We have over the last 2-3 years, we have tried to at least have a presence on social media and so forth. It does still seem to come back to relationships and contractors. Being we're dealing majority of the time, we're dealing with contractors. We do sell, have retail as well, but the contractors is a lot of word of mouth,
right?
So and so tells someone else that they get good service, they get good products, and then that's how they start getting connected. So, but that being said, like we were discussing, I think it's very important though that you also have a presence on social media. You're there,
right?
Because sometimes it'll come into where the contractor comes to the job site and says, tells the end user they're using this product, and they'll be like, okay, Classic Metals, and then they'll go and research and make sure that they're comfortable with the product.
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense. Well, and you and I was talking earlier, and John, Kevin, I think Kevin and I was talking about earlier at the show, in between candy bars that I didn't have, but
ice cream.
Oh, you told on me.
Oh.
I've been caught. Okay, I allow myself certain things. I try to lead a pretty fit, healthy lifestyle. I really do.
Well, we all do,
but when I'm at an open house and they have ice cream, I'm having ice cream. Okay, I'm not going to have one on the way home.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm having one.
Yeah.
And besides that, your nice young lady that was serving ice cream just looked so forlorn and lonely standing there.
Yeah. Right.
Waiting to pull the little lever.
Yeah,
And nobody else. So I did it to be a nice guy.
Okay. Yeah, that made her day.
I think I'd mentioned to Wes pre-show that, and I'm going to really go on a limb here, and I don't want to go back, but so my lovely, beautiful, awesome wife Dixie, who runs my office, I sometimes accuse her of not always watching my shows, or what I post and what I do.
Right.
So I partially did that as a test. So if you're watching, baby, it was only a test. I really didn't need it. That laugh is not helping.
Right. Yeah.
But I figured that I'd put that post. Look at it. She's saying, yeah, there. Yep.
Now he's gonna tag her.
Oh yeah, she got her own tag, man. I mean, but I did that as a test to see if she would I'm blowing it if she's watching the show, but we'll find out.
Right.
If she says nothing, the problem is she's just sharp enough. Well, she's very sharp, but I mean, she married me, right?
Right.
Made me. She's pretty smart, but that she won't say anything now, right? So she'll let me think that she's still not.
Right. Yeah. See,
but
wow.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I messed up already.
Yeah.
But so John, Kevin and I were talking with social media, and as Kevin knows, and I think that's something Wes and I do a lot of together. I'm a big believer in it. It's kind of like you talked about. You have customers, and even in an area where they're going to come to you probably, or most of them, they know who you are, word of mouth. But boy, every time they see this new building, this new project, this new something that on social media,
Mhm.
that they buy emotionally because they know that buying from John and Kevin is what I should do, right? But that's backed up by seeing
Oh yeah.
all these other projects, right?
Yeah. I
So
see
they're
where
intellectually going, that's a good choice I made.
Mhm.
I mean, I know I like John and Kevin
Right.
and Chris and all the folks, right? But look at all these other people that love them too, right? So that backs them up. And I've often said that, I don't know if right or wrong, but opinion is that many, many, many years ago, if you didn't have a website, you kind of didn't exist
Yeah.
to a lot of people, right? If they can't quick jump on a website and pull you up, and you guys got a great website, and but I feel like social media presence is the website of today.
Yeah.
If you can't go as a potential customer and jump on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or someplace and find something about classic metals, it's almost, I don't say it's not like you exist, but you don't really exist in a lot of people's mind. And because you think about a lot of the people that because I've had guys ask, well, why do you do as much as you do? Because a lot of the decision makers would be maybe guys more your age, right, John?
Mhm.
But more and more and more are people your age or younger.
Yeah.
And if I want to develop as this older guy a relationship with this 27-year-old, I call him a kid because I'm old, right? That's moving up the ranks in this business.
Mhm.
Okay.
I better meet him where he wants to be met, right? As opposed to where he wants to meet me.
Yeah.
And where he wants to be met is on social media. He wants to see me there. He wants to know who I am, and so I think that's just if you're going to develop, I guess, that next tier of people moving up through the ranks,
yeah.
you better be involved. And you know what? We'll be talking about something different, and whatever it is, 5 years will probably be a whole different. I mean, look how fast we went from, we went through all these different Facebook type things.
Yeah.
We went through in Snapchat or whatever that was. I don't even think that exists hardly anymore. And there's Instagram. So I think the key there is to be involved. And if you can't or don't want to, find somebody that can do it for you. Right.
Yes.
And that's,
Yeah.
but you guys do a really good job. Your presence on social media. And I see more and more people in our industry that have become much more involved.
Mhm.
And I think that's pretty exciting, and it's exciting for our industry. So you gave me a lot of time, and I don't want to take too much more because we just got done with an open house and you got to clean up, fix up, and I'm going to drive to the airport tonight. And plus I have are you guys, you're not on the airport board at Columbus, are you? Because I've been
No.
complaining to me.
No. If we had one.
You're not on the airport board at Columbus?
No.
Okay. It used to be I flew into Columbus all the time
Mhm.
because they had rental car was on site. It was literally on the airport. It still is, but it was like in the basement of the parking lot, right?
Right.
Yesterday, shows I haven't traveled into Columbus by plane for a little bit. I come out and there's a sign for shuttle buses. I'm going, there's no shuttle buses here. This is not Cleveland or Cincinnati or Detroit or almost anywhere else.
Mhm.
They took that away from me.
Mm.
Now I have to get on a shuttle bus, and it's like a good whole mile. What an inconvenience.
right.
But anyway, but the only negative to that, not that anybody cares about my woes, but so that means like tonight, I drive back, dump my bags off just because it's easier at the hotel that I can see from the rental car. Drive over and dump my car, get on a rental car shuttle to the airport,
Mhm.
and then walk out and get on the hotel shuttle to get back to the hotel. Because the rental car shuttle won't drop you at your hotel.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Right, yeah.
So I know that's like
It's like a riddle.
it's like it is. And if I get screwed up, I'm going in circles all night.
Right.
It's first world choice problems, right? But anyway, so guys, any last question, any last thing you want to bring up, talk about that we didn't hit on? Because I want people to know when we get done today who is First Choice Exteriors and Classic Metals, and I know that it's again, I do want to thank you for. He should ask questions. Wes reminds me, should ask questions because I forget. And I forget so bad that sometimes I say seldom ask questions until I look at the screen because I forget. But anyway, but again, it was a great show today with the contractors and the fact of how many showed up. I know guys like to come out and eat and get free food and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's a tribute to guys like yourselves when they get a good crowd,
Right.
that if these people do care about you and want to come and share. So, but anything other than that, John, we're just going to have a big old year, right?
Yeah. Good planning on it.
That's good.
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, listen, I know you've got some things to clean up. I am going to head for the airport, and we'll just see you next time around.
Sounds right.
All right.
That was awesome.
Hey, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do right hands this
Yeah,
time.
there
There we
you
go.
go.
Get the right hand. I got confused. So guys, there you got it. My friends, John and Kevin Yoder, First Choice Exteriors, Classic Metals, and Weaver Metals, right? Did I get that right?
Yep.
They got you covered, plus sidings and windows. You still do windows and doors, all those sort of things. Anything in exterior your house.
That's right.
And maybe something in the inside too, maybe. Who knows? No inside stuff?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you put
metal.
If you want to put metal on the ceiling.
There you go.
Getting pretty
Hey,
popular.
Corten
Yep.
Yeah.
metal on the inside. It'll
Yeah,
look beautiful.
There you go.
See, there we go.
Board and batten, it always works inside.
Board, bat, nice
Oh,
word.
my.
Thanks, Kirsten. You're the best. Appreciate you. So anyways, give them a holler, give them a call, send them a carrier pigeon. It'll still work.
Yep.
And so next week we'll be back in the home studio, in the home awesome. I call it Studio 1A. I did put a sign up in my glass doors into my office, which I use as a studio because I thought it was cute and funny. And I put Studio 1A, and the Dixie chick didn't find that humorous at all. But then again, I thought it was cool.
Right.
My problem is that I didn't bother to scrape the glue that was left over from the tape. So that was my bad. But anyways, next week, Billy Wins Live on Friday. We're going to have a guy that's become a friend, a pal. The Gonzo Experience is his podcast that he does every week. And David Mamano, he's there he is. Look at that handsome dog. And David is from the Rochester, New York area. He's a businessman. He's a teacher. He's an instructor. He's just an all-around great guy. Has his own podcast called The Gonzo Experience. I think he was even silly enough actually to invite me to be on his podcast sometime in the next couple of weeks, I think also. So we either become even better buddies or we'll get real tired of each other pretty quick, right? One or the other.
Yeah.
But so next week, don't miss that. That'll be fun. And until then, remember, keep doing what I'm doing. Follow me on one thing. Love what you do and do what you love, because today was a long day. By the time I get back to the hotel, get tucked in, get ready, flight tomorrow. But I love every second of it. So love what you do what you love. And remember, you get one go around. So live it, love it, own it. And always make today your best day ever. Until tomorrow. That's it, my friends. Cheers.